Good morning, everyone. Yes, we are back for Sunday slot car sessions. Good morning and welcome to the den. Nice to see you all. God, it's nice. It's like we've got a queue. Like the old days, queuing up for the subway when you come out of the club at 7 a.m. Love it. Let's say hello to everyone. Good morning from the top of the tree. Steve-O in the house. Good morning, Steve. You all right, mate? He's rocking a cup of coffee in his avatar picture there. I've decided to come on with no coffee. Eau de mineral. So envious of your coffee there. Morning, Rob. How you doing, mate? You winning? Good weekend? Oh, Daz. What I like about Daz is he's ready. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Right. This is Daz's view, everyone. Daz is painting, looks like picnic benches. Well done, Daz. So that's what Daz is doing. I've got a sneaking suspicion that's what Magnetic Racing are doing as well as we speak. So well done, Daz. Straight in it. Da Fingers. The Fingers is there. I have no idea what time it is where you are, The Fingers, but must be late. Talking about another late in the morning, early in the morning, late at night guy. It is Rahul, Conquest Racing Club. Rahul's in the place. If you don't watch his channel, I suggest you flip over and subscribe to that. Hit the bell, bing, bing, so you get all of his stuff. He does some really good stuff, don't you, Rahul? Slightly jealous of your content because he has got other things going on too. Not only does he do slot car related stuff, which is fantastic, and he does figure stuff because he's into Warhammer, figure painting creation. But he helps the community out. He gives us tips and hints on how to grow your YouTube channel. So I know a few people have started YouTube channels in the last week or two. Shout out to Cozzy118 BMK. Shout out to Paul at Slotcar 2021. Both aspiring, and the new sheriff in town, Swift Slots. Swift Slots, everyone. Rob is going to bring us some content. You'll know who Rob is later because Rob invented the Swift 16 tyre trio, everyone. He's just started some content. So Swift Slots, go over there and check that out. Morning, Paul. How you doing, mate? You all right? Good to have you on board. As to with yourself, Slot Car Dude. Nice one. Good morning. Oh, see, I knew it. I knew Dougie Boy would be here. Someone hold his coat. He's doing his figures. Or are you doing track? Tell us. Share us. Let me send you a link so you can see what you're doing. Morning, G-Som. Grandson of man, G-Som. Morning, Cyberg. How you doing? Got a lot of good people in the room today. Good morning, everyone. Aid, how are you, my friend? So, Aid kindly sent me. Well, we'll have a look at that in a minute. But Aid sent us some VT to have a look at. I love it. And we're going to have a look at Daz's VT in a minute as well. Oos! Morning, Travis. He's down there. He's probably like this at the moment. Working on them guns. Boosh down the gym. Which incidentally is where Mrs. Brown is, because she cannot handle the noise of the track fans. Sunday slot car sessions. She cannot handle it. She's gone to the gym to escape. Yes, Paul. Wave back at you. Cameron is in the house. Morning, Cam. How you doing, my friend? You all right, buddy? Is everyone still in bed or what? Well, welcome aboard, mate. You're doing something productive this morning, which is what we like. So let's see. I think I've covered everyone. Oh, hello. No, we didn't. Devil Dog is in the house. I'm going to go with he's American. It's just an observation. Love that avatar picture you got going on there with a dog with a Union Jack with the stars and stripes on there, and pronunciation is always good. What's happening, mate? Not a great deal this weekend. I've been editing. So, Cameron, what do you mean you're very tired? You're like, I don't actually know how old you are, but you're younger than us or me, which means you should be waking up like ready to go, like, oh yes, come on. That's how you should be waking up. I still wake up like that, so you have no excuse, Cam. Oh, Williams, yes, on the way to Williams. So if anyone doesn't know what Williams is, I reckon you should keep tuned in the next couple of weeks, because I might have a little bit of a video coming out about our day out to Williams with Doug, Ian and Tim from Magnetic Racing and Think Scalextric. Yes, he's at the gym, Travis. Not that you're predictable. I love it. I tell you what we need, right? We need a gym that is in HO size, because then we can all pump massive iron and feel good about ourselves, because it's like this big and we can all lift it. Oh, I love it. Oh, has George done a video? We'll have to check that out. George Area 51, I think, has put out a video here. Awesome. Hang on a second. I hope you're not in bed with your dad. I'm only kidding, Cameron. That would be crazy. Morning, Carl. How are you? You all right? Yes. Good morning, mate. And yes, don't we all wish we were still at Williams? Yes, we do. Crazy. Morning, Nigel. How you doing? So we have got a gang in the house today. Well done. Getting up at God unearthly time on this on Sunday morning, or not going to bed late on a Saturday night, I think. Well done. Cheers, Raoul. Cheers, the fingers. Cheers, Devil Dog. Nice to have you on board. All we need is Aston to come on, and we got a few guys over from Australia. So we've got a proper global show today, which is good. So let's start with Daz's track. Yes. So I meant to show you this last week, but I forgot. All right. In the excitement of doing the show and talking slot car stuff on a Sunday morning, when there's no one else to talk slot car stuff to except us lot in our community, brilliant. I forgot in excitement to show you Daz's track. We've been following his track build. We've been looking at the Dunlop stand. We've been looking at the Magnetic Racing advertising boards. We've been watching him doing his Art Pro cover, but we've never actually seen the overall track of Daz's. So I've got two tracks to show you, Daz's and someone else's. To show you someone else's next. Right, let's have a look. What's this here? So I've just checked the comments. Just don't want to miss out on anything you want to bring up or share with us. Trying to try and keep in tune with it rather than rabble on like a madman for like an hour. So here we go. Daz's track. Are you ready? Okay. Here is Daz's track. Check it out. So look at that back straight. That is something else. A little nod to that slot car guy advertising there. And we'll see when he comes back around the track. What a night. This is a Scalex. Hold on. Look at that. He's got the track fans on his advert board. Love it. So he's got, I don't know whereabouts this is in his house. I'm going to go with it's in his attic just by looking at the way the beams are on the ceiling. But Scalextric track, digital, really is quite a nice bit of kit using AstroTurf there as well. So he's got the ability to give it some real rice down that back straight. Here it comes. You ready? Booted does, booted does, booted does. Oh, that was quite tame. All right, so that was Daz's track. Oh, you are joking. For some reason. All right, Got a camera malfunction, dudes. Bear with me. Just cannot get the staff. Cannot get the staff. We'll see what this one does. Apparently, my battery ran out. So we'll see if this one's got any more juice in the tank. Talk about live TV, people. Live TV. Hold on. Incredible. Right, we'll see how that goes. Sorry about that, guys. Battery died. And I've got it plugged into the power mains as well. So I've got to dodgy something somewhere. We might have to ad hoc on this episode. Yes, Paul, exactly that. Exactly that. 50p in the meter. I need like a whole stack of them. Unbelievable. Anyway, so let's get back to what we were doing. So let's see. Share Aid's track. Right. Fortunately, Aid has not put any music in the background this time, getting me copyrighted up on YouTube. Brilliant. Okay, so how are we doing this? Share screen. Right, here we go. So Adrian has been working on his track in his shed. His shed. Now, he used to have a massive track, digital, Scalextric, really good, goes up the back, round the corner, back on itself, a few hill climbs, the lot. So Aid's been a bit ill lately and decided he did an interior designer. He woke up one day and he hated it. So what he's done is he's reconstructing his track to have his main track, but also have a rally track within the track. I think he's seen some tracks somewhere, maybe this show, Rules show, whoever's show, and seeing that he wants a rally track. So this is what he's doing. So here's his track. Check this bad boy out. I mean, he's got this running really well. He's got the single lane track going on, synonymous to rally. It's at his early stage. He's going to build it up, obviously, and create some scenery, some effect. Love it. Cheers for the share, Aid. That is pretty cool. So I like that. Hold on. Right then. So, one thing, I don't do the news. We all know I don't do the news because there's plenty of news providers out there. Travis, who's in the comments here, quite frankly, does a sterling job. So you can see him 2-3 times a week, popping out news for fun. Literally, the guy is a ticker tape. Actually, I might call him ticker tape from moving forward. Where's my phone? Let's get him changed in the phone to ticker tape. Yes. But there was one bit of news that Travis popped up that I didn't see anywhere else over the internet this last week, which was quite handy because it means it's exclusive. And by the time you get to Sunday slot car sessions, all that brand new news is all done and dusted. Because let's face it, no one's publishing news on Sunday morning before I get on. Cam, we'll come to that in just a minute, buddy. So yeah, so there was one bit of news that stood out for me on everyone's news channels, and that was the new Electric Dreams car. So this is it. This is the new Porsche 908 Mark III from NSR. I'm sorry to have to do this, guy. I think I'm going to sneeze. Perfect. Feel better now. Sorry about that. So professional on live TV. Coughing, sneezing, blowing my nose. It's live. It's Sunday. So yes, back on point. Back on point, Pete. Right. Electric Dreams, limited edition. So when I met Marco from Electric Dreams recently at the UK Slot Car Festival, lovely chap, really nice chap, said, yeah, I'll get you onto our circulars. So I was like, ooh, exciting. Get some news feed here. Even though I don't do news, get some news feed anyway. So and these were on it. So there's a whole list of caveats on how these are being produced and sold, and I'm not going into it because, quite frankly, it's like working out NASA science. Okay, the first one to this or this much, and then this to this number of car is that much, and you got this print and that print. Just sell us the cars. Yeah, just print up 1,000 of them and flog them out. Don't be doing all of this no crazy 100 of this and a 50 more of that, and then 25 with that, and it's got a little bit of a gold thing on the back that says your initials. And just sell us some cars, man. I don't want all of this bum fighting. 100 cars. 100 cars? Who's getting that? Who can afford that? Make 1,000 of them and flog them, because I will buy this car in a heartbeat. This car, check it out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the 908. I really like it. Yeah, Cam, they come fully built, my friend. So here we go. So love it. I love the matte finish. For me is really nice. Shawnee up at the club on Friday night, he had the Mercedes AMG NSR, because it's GT3 round this month, and it was a matte grey livery with a gloss white yellow stripe, and it looks smoking hot. These look smoking hot. The underside, nothing special to write home about. And then if you're interested in the gubbins and the way the mechanics of it work, it's a standard NSR car setup. We'll get onto that there in a minute. So let me just come out of the slideshow for a second. So we've got both Sean and I from the club, both bought our NSR. We've got to build it ourselves because we're on the welfare. 908 Porsches. It's just a really nice bit of kit. So I got the yellow one because, no secret, yellow's my favourite colour. There's a lot of yellow popping up around my car collection, as you'll see. So that NSR is just a nice bit of kit. One thing that was quite appealing though, if you're not overly confident on tuning a car, I mean, some great content with Raul, Conquest Racing Club, and also with Marty at Two Lines on a Tuesday. I love that. He's such a laid back guy. I could literally watch him for hours. Tuesday with Two Lines. Apparently, he's got a nice coffee machine now as well. That is a smoking hot F1 car, Travis. Smoking hot. Hey, Pat, mate, it's not just you guys that miss out on these like limited edition things. It's us as well. And it's not the fact that I miss it because I will be finger on the pulse, order. It's just sometimes they release them at the time I've got no money. That's the problem. So it's not really an Electric Dreams problem. It's a Pedro problem, has no cash to buy it when it comes out. But the challenge I have is like everyone in this room right now in our community, we ain't got a lot of money, but we've got expensive tastes. Yes, we have. I swear to God, if I won the lottery, and I had time and money on my hands, it'd be the best, wouldn't it? So I feel you, Pat. I feel you. Yep. GSOM, I think there is something gratifying about buying a white, well, they traditionally call it white kit, even though it's yellow kit. It's known as a white kit. Sean got the red kit, I got the yellow kit, and but yeah, you're right. There is nothing more gratifying than painting up your car, building your car. Because let's face it, it's like Marty at Two Lines says, you can buy a car out of the box, like this Pioneer, Ford Mustang, Ford Trans Am. So, but then it's not ready to race. You've got to race. You've got to get it ready for, in particular, and it was a great qualifying question. He said, in particular, what track are you racing on? Then tune the car to that track. So that's really good advice. So I'm racing on wood So I've got to make sure that this car tunes down to wood spec. Just trying to think where else. Whereas the trusty Rover, which is going to be ready by next week, and then we've got something special coming on that. So that's going to be ready next week. That's going to be racing on plastic track. So it needs to be slightly different for plastic. Maybe if you want, we could do some content in the next week or two on the differences of how to tune for wood and how to tune for plastic. It'll be a little bit like blind leading the blind, but I could do a little bit of research and pick the brains of some guys around me, and we could bring it in. You could share to me and the group here what you guys do for it. Just little things like I'd always done tire truing. I've always done tire truing with lighter fluid. Some people do it dry, some people do it with lighter fluid, you know, this stuff. And Rob, who invented it, said, no, Pete, you should be using an egg cup of water. An egg cup of water, there it is, no expense spared, with 1 or 2 drops of washing up liquid in it, dishwashing liquid in it, stir it up, and then use that. So I tried it. And I tried it on a video that I'm going to launch probably around Wednesday time this week. Dave Hart and I, Slotter, lovely chap, we've been chatting. We've both got Tire True. We've both done videos on it. They're both really different because we've shared each other's content to make sure we're bringing you something balanced. And so, yeah, between us, it covers everything to do about this Tire True. It's really, really, really good. Oh yeah, content in the house, we like it. Trav's got a video coming up, hard versus soft chassis on, and I'm going to assume, Travis, just for the viewing people, because we chat all the time, that the F1 car that you speak of, wow, well, NSR don't make it easy for you to get in the box, do they? Jeez. Wow. So when you say F1 car video, hard versus soft chassis, I assume you're talking about the new NSR F1 car. So that will be amazing. Bebe cream. I think it means baby cream. We've got to work on your English, Travis, honestly. So anyway, I found something quite interesting. All right, so I found this. Okay, let me just take this off. How many of you, put your answers in the comments. I'm going to hold on for a minute or so while you do this. Let's do this. How much, and if you're overseas, put in there in cents, dollars or euros, how much at the moment is a pint of milk? So how much is a pint of milk in the UK or wherever you are? How much is a pint of milk? Because this is brilliant, this. I'll start the charge. I thought it was about that much money. That's how much I thought 1 pint of milk is. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry, it's slot car related, honestly. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. How much is a pint of milk? Come on, I want to hear some comments. Get everyone trying to wash their hands off of paint and stuff now to type in. And then, oh my God, where do you live? In Mayfair? So we got Doug is on 75p. We got Darren on 58p. I thought it was 41p. Cameron has no idea. Goat's milk, I love it. Oh, brilliant. Do you know, I had some goat's cheese. It was rank. It was awful. Goat's cheese, stay away from it. Right, okay, let's get these off. I'm going to put you out of your misery now. So I asked Google last night, how much is a pint of milk in the UK? and it says here around 43p. And the reason I'm saying how much is a pint of milk is because Scalextric put out a post, and unfortunately, because I have no idea how social media works, I don't know how old this post was. It's recent because it's social media. But check this out. I mean, Scalextric parts, yeah. Bear in mind, a pint of milk costs around 43 pence. This was the days, right, where you could buy accessories for Scalextric for 42p. 42p. It's cheaper than a pint of milk. It is amazing. 42p. Oh my God. That is incredible. Could you imagine that? So, Slot Car Festival. Wow. I know we talked about it last week, so I won't dwell on it any longer, but we do have the save the date for the next one. It's on December the 3rd. Now, whilst I know my boss doesn't watch this, he's going to be slightly, I've got to tell him, because our next event at work is the 4th and the 5th, the Monday and the Tuesday. And he likes to go up there, apparently, on the Sunday afternoon to set the venue up ready for the Monday. I got news for him. That I'm going to a slot car market. And quite frankly, I'm self-employed. So I'm going to slot car market. And now I'm joking. This thing finishes at 4. I reckon I can get down to London for, well, it's by the O2 Arena. So hour to London, half an hour over there. Say 2 hours because I'm going to stop and get coffee. 6 o'clock, say 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be there by 7, boss. Hopefully you'll have set it all up by then. I can just join you for dinner. Amazing. You are joking me. That's an amazing statistic, Paul. You buy milk by the gallon. By the gallon. Wow. How big is that? Well, I'm going to have to do some metric checking later as well. Yeah, that's right, Daz. Flicking it out like this every stall. It just has the stuff you need. Not the stuff you want, the stuff you need. We covered that before. Nice one. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate it, matey. Thank you for that. Mark's going to hook us up when he's done when he's got the dates and whatnot for the next one. So, does this appeal to you? This picture here, some good old Trans Am. So translated roughly into slot car guys. Here it is. Look at those Trans Ams lined up and ready to go. And then a few snips. Oh, there's seems to be a pattern emerging here. What could it be? I hear you say at the back. What? 1 gallon, 4.5 litres. Aid. This is going to take all day. So, what's that in pints, man? I mean, litres might be in Derby, but it hasn't reached Northampton yet. 4.5. Oh, actually, no, it has. Hang on, let me think. So, because they do that weird 2 pints in litres, don't they? Is that a litre or a litre and a half? The 2 pints. God, this is content, isn't it? Discussing gallons, litres, and pints. Seriously, have we run out of slot car things to talk about? Anyway, let's get back on it. That's hilarious. So the reason I'm showing you these Trans Am or maybe NASCAR is because we've got a couple of events coming up at Rockingham Slot Car Club, and I went to the American Pie last year and it was ace. Let me get my face out of the picture so you can see all of that. So this is what we're looking at on the left. We've got Trans Am on the Saturday, and then we've got the American Pie event on the Sunday. So now I've got a dilemma because I have, he says, showing you what he's got, and I'm not even on the screen. So the dilemma I've got is I've actually got a Trans Am and I got a NASCAR. So I can enter these races. No problem at all. A lot of tuning to do. Let's get that back on there so you can see what's happening everywhere. So yeah, these are going on. So as you can see, come back to this. I'll put this on my community tab anyway. So you got the picture to look at and the dates and whatnot. But I keep these here. So if you're coming back to the stream, then you've got something to check out. Cam, I wouldn't worry about the car. If you ever wanted to go, and anyone else, in fact, if you ever wanted to go to any of these race meets, the guys at the race meets are set up to invite and welcome new people down. They did it for me last year at American Pie. I haven't got a NASCAR. So Matt Tucker lent me his NASCAR. Literally, Pete, I know you haven't got a NASCAR because I've been through your slot car box and checked it out when you was in the toilet. Oh, it's fine. So he lent me a NASCAR. And I was, it's classic. I'm filming the NASCAR. I was like, yeah, track fans, look at this going around the track. And it went round the far side and stacked it straight into the corner. But fortunately, I found out that NASCARs, they don't go round corners. They just go through them. It's fantastic. So there you go. Right. So I've got a question for you guys. I've got a question. It relates to, actually, let's do an update because Cameron did ask about the new scratch builds that I'm going to do. So today I'm doing decals. I've got some decals that I can practice with. That's what's been holding me up on the thin wall special. I don't want to practice live. I don't want to don't want to fire it up, get that in there and ruin it. That's not what I want to do. And decals is not something I'm overly experienced in. I normally just get stickers. They're really easy. So I'm doing, and share these with you and get this right. The Rolls-Royce Streamlined Brooklands 1912. This is, I'm really excited about this one. So that's the Rolls-Royce there. Then we've got the Alpha 8C. So these have been primed. You can tell because you can see the inside looking pretty yellow and the outside looking pretty white. So this is going to be nice. I'm going to do this in a classic red, whereas I'm going to do the Rolls-Royce in a kind of sort of tarnished silver. And then we've got this unidentified scratch build here. Does anyone know what this is? So this one here, Malcolm Scotto at Wolverhampton Slot Car Club, absolute gent of a bloke, really good friend, and such a nice mentor to all the lads at Wolverhampton Slot Car Club. I mean, he really does he gives them the freedom to be the boys they are, but he does keep them in check, and it's almost like, you know, a second dad to a lot of us. I'll say us because he's treated me with nothing but utter respect, and I really love the guy. So that's the third scratch build I'm going to be doing. Yes, the Alpha is just nice. The kind of raised bulbous grille. Yeah, we've got some love in the house for Wolverhampton Slot Car Club, everyone. Right, hang on a second here. Yes, Slot Car Dude, they are primed and they are ready, my friend. Thank you, Pat. That's what we're trying to achieve here. A safe space for slot heads, because it's a dangerous world out there. And quite frankly, if we've got somewhere safe with no sharp edges in the morning while everyone else sleeps and be boring or goes to the gym. No, it's not a slant on you, Trav. Honestly, because you'll be doing content for the rest of the day when you get back. I tell you what, the Slot Car Festival mini-series is coming together nicely. So, just a quick plug on it in case you haven't caught up with my channel in the last few days. What I'm doing is a mini-series. It's too much content for one show, So I'm doing a few episodes, and secretly it's market research as well. So it's going to allow me to know what you're watching and what to create more of. Don't get me wrong, I do more of everything, but it just gives me an idea of what this community really likes, because I've noticed with different sorts of channels you attract different communities. So I'm quite interested to see what the flavor of the month is at the moment with that. So I've got quite a few videos coming out. The first one is today at 4:30 GMT, 4:30 UK time, bringing it out. It's going to be, I'm not going to tell you too much about it because obviously I want to just watch it, but it's a really good story. When I heard the old bill, the police, the feds, the fuzzy muff, sorry Mark, Travis, I know you're boys in blue, but when the old filth come down, no, we like the police. And PC Jelly, Mike, if you're watching this, good morning mate, you're a legend. Your mate though, who arrested me, he's off my Christmas card list. But yes, the boys in blue, they brought down the RS 200 to the show, and I thought, well, it is a slot car show, so I'm not too sure about it. But when you actually get into it and you find out that Scalextric have made that RS 200, but you figure out the history behind that car and the fact that it was never a police car, I'll say no more. You'll have to watch if you want to find out about it. Yeah, I hope that hang on a second, bit of road safety. Doug, we got coppers in the room. We got like two bona fide old Bill in the room, and you're talking about watching the movie while you're driving home. I take it Tim's driving, yeah? So Tim's driving, and you will be watching in the passenger seat with your seatbelt on safely, I assume. I assume, mate. Honestly, God, mate, I'd take that comment down before you get us busted. There we go. The police are out. He's off. See you later, Mark. Have a good shift, mate. I really hope it's a quiet day for you. Mark is one of the boys in blue, keeps us safe from all the vermin, the street life, the crims out there. So he's off to work, and I hope you just have a quiet, easy shift. Okay, mate? There you go. Yeah, good. Yes, I forgot about that. His driving instructor is Doug, Ian, and Tim. So yeah, so keep tuned for the mini series. The Scalextrics and the police episode is today. The Tyre Trio one is going to be in the week. I've pretty much cracked the bones out of the tables and tracks episode. We've got the Polycar episode, Polycar competition. We've got the Williams episode, the Mercedes-Benz episode. We've got a ton of stuff coming through. So just keep tuned to that. Anyway, question for you guys on the floor. There's a few people in the room, so oh my good Lord, we're getting police love in the room. I'm going to block you two here. I'm going to block you two. You know, this isn't police promotion site. I'm only joking. Right, you two guys have a police moment between yourselves. Right, so I've got a question here. Okay, so as I said to you last week on the stream, it's if I haven't got enough projects going on, which is fine because I love variety and it keeps me interested. Matt Tucker kindly threw this at me last week. It's a DTM car. Okay, there it is. And I'll just remind myself what one. Here we go. Right, so it's an SCX. It's an SCX Audi A5. Beautiful car, really nice car. Not going to spray that. I'm not going to spray that because I just really like that. And he's given me a chassis, a slotting chassis. So I'll just try and get some light. There you go, slotting chassis. So what we've got to do is we've got to do this up by December. and I've been on a couple of websites to have a look for things like axles, tires, wheels. Although the wheels, I can tell you now, I'm going to be speaking to Mark Wright at Staff's Slot Cars, because I think some blue or some gold wheels on that, some blue wheels like Cameron's would be epic, or some gold wheels maybe. But so I've been looking at things to start doing this up with. I've got a motor that I can put in here. I need to get a slotted pod. Sorry, yeah, a slotted pod. Now I'm thinking, if I were to take this slotted NSR, sorry Maurizio, sorry NSR. If I was to take this slotted Nissan, this Group C car, and hijacked the axle, will the axle work in this slotting chassis? Is it as simple as just taking the axle from this and putting it in this? Obviously I'm going to try it, but before I waste my time later, if I can run this by you guys, I don't know if you can tell me if this works with this before I start it later. Cam, I'd love to lend you blue ones, mate, but if you've ever seen me reverse parking, you'll say no. I can't park for love nor money. What? There's always a need for blue wheels. Right, here's Tony. Right, what are we looking at? So build your first brass chassis for it. Ooh, that's not a bad shout. I'm worried about the weight. Of a brass chassis. But maybe, just maybe, we could be looking at a brass chassis for this. Now, I'm going to speak to Mick Kerr or David Farrow about it, because they are legends at building scratch building. It's about right, yeah. So this comment here. We basically, when we did our slot pilgrimage, we'd spent probably a third of the time sat in traffic on the M25, which for anyone in the UK will get that joke. Yes, Tony, I think the roller is what we need to do a brass chassis on. So I'm going to make a note of that. See, this is what it's come to. Age 40 something. And I'm having to write stuff down as I go along, because otherwise I'm going to forget. I get so excited in doing things on the go. So like, I'll come out of here in a bit. My Mrs. Brown would have come back from the gym. She'll be charged up because she's pumped up. Be like, right, let's go, dog walk, this, push. I'll be like, what? No, I want to paint some slot cars. I want to true up the tires. I've got projects to do. I've got editing to do. I ain't got none of this time for all of that business. What are you talking about? Dog walking, going to see relatives. You can become quite introvert and quite insular in slot car hobby. So it's always good now and again to come out to the slot festivals, the swap meets, the race events, go into the pub with people that you met at these places afterwards. Because it's one of the lovely things about being in a community like this, or Raoul's Conquest Racing Club's community, or Marty's community, or George's community, or whoever's, Travis's community, whoever's, and the shared community, is that you actually find out, like Tony here, who's comments up on the screen. He tuned in a few weeks ago when I was having a chat with Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing, only to find out that they are half an hour up the road from where he lives, and he works all around, and he dropped in on the way back. He met them, they're great friends of his now, and he's, it just brought them together. So if I don't write this stuff down, I will forget it in and amongst doing family stuff and other things. That's the Rolls Royce. So I've got to finish writing it down. See what I mean? I get distracted. So I'm off on a tangent again. That's it. Tony, you've just been thrown under a bus, mate. I tell you what else is probably coming up soon. I haven't heard any rumblings about it. I must go on to Slot Forum. I always forget about Slot Forum. Slot Forum, the place where you get all of your most of your information from. They normally put up information about the Rock Bull and stuff, which I can't wait for. Nice 6-hour digital session to get stuck into. Right, what we got here then? So, morning Lionel, you all right, buddy? So, I've not recognised your name before, so good morning to pal. I hope you're well. I hope your Sunday started good. Well, of course it has, because you're in the Sunday Slotcar sessions. Brilliant. So, what's the best part? Whereabouts are you in the world, mate? Are you in the UK? Are you in the US, North, South, Canada, Australia, Europe? If you let us know, some of the guys in the community will tell you. I'll pipe them up, of course. This varies a lot, and it's quite a nice thing to talk about in regards to where do you buy parts from? Where do you buy parts to tune? Where do you buy scenery from for tracks? Where do you buy figures for the scenery? Where do you get stuff? So I would be very, very weary, first off, of buying second-hand products from eBay or Facebook Marketplace, because you're normally buying somebody else's shit. And I'm sorry to swear on a live stream, but I've wasted so much money on naff descriptions, and I've actually now started to send stuff back. So for instance, I ordered a metal tuning plate from a company and they sent me a plastic one. You know, it's just little things like that, drives you wild. So now I can't flatten my chassis before this week, next Friday's racing, because I've got another 4 or 5 days to wait for the good one, for the right one to turn up. So be very, very careful and selective when you're buying on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is there's some exceptional retailers out there. Exceptional retailers who do all sorts of slot car accessories. Obviously, we've got the most well-known, and you know, you might argue otherwise if you're someone else, but you've got to kind of say they are the most well-known, and that's Pendle Slot up in Pendle in Lancashire. You can buy everything brand new from them. They've got everything that you probably want and need. The Alfa Romeo and the Rolls-Royce scratch builds were from Pendle. This isn't a Pendle advert, but they come in a nice box. Everything's in there. You can get it out and you can build it. It's cool. Whereas Malcolm's one, have I got the... Did I bring it down? Yes. So Malcolm's scratch build, he gave me the resin body. Thank you very much, Malcolm. He gave me a driver for it. There you go. And he gave me this. So as you can see, and I'm going to put this here. It needs front wheels, needs a lot of work doing on the chassis, and the wheels just fell off. Oh, brilliant! The wheels literally just fell off. So genius live TV. So that needs a lot of work. So I'm going to need to be buying some spare parts to get that one up and running, Lionel. Let me just put your comment back up because it's a great thing to discuss. So yeah, so Pendle will have lots of different stuff. There are other suppliers out there, Gauge Master. You got Jadlam, you've got Wasp. Yeah, they all do slot car parts. There are other retailers for other things, of course, as you know. But these guys do parts. Now, what is quite a unique thing I've noticed, and I've picked up on this since I've been doing this live stream every Sunday at 7:30, Sunday slot car sessions, is that you actually have a community of people like Malcolm here. I was telling him about I'm doing some scratch builds, and he brought this stuff over to me to sort of get me inspired into getting that going. is you can do a lot of swaps. You remember being in the schoolyard, you used to get the football stickers or the Masters of the Universe stickers, and you'd have regular stickers, and then you'd have the foily ones, and you do swaps. You're like, oh no, a foily one is worth 3 of those regulars, and you do it. There is a community here between everyone and you all and me that has, it has parts for this. And it doesn't need the parts for this, and it might need the parts for a NASCAR. So they're like, right, I've got some of this, send us those, I'll send you these, happy days. So talk amongst yourselves, be inspired by each other, because that's where I get most of my information from, is just chatting to you guys. Let's have a look here then. Yep, here we go. So Pendle's LE cam, but we're not looking. So Evo slot and Pendle are, as he says, lower cost and very good. Not actually come across the Evo slot yet. See, so here we go. Just by being here, by chatting, by interacting, I've now got another slot car supplier. So Lionel, I hope that helps you out a little bit, buddy. Here we go. Hey, I think that must be you and your son. Good morning, mate. How you doing? Welcome to Track Fans TV, the most bonkers place on the internet for slot cars. Hey, this is what I'm talking about. Well done, Daz. Welcoming members to the community. We are not related, by the way, but it is a cracking surname you've got, Lionel. Yes, Phil Smith's a great guy. Phil, if you need stuff, what happens is at these race meetings, race events, like these ones here, Phil will be there, and Phil does take a few boxes of parts relevant to the race that you're doing. So for the American style, he'll take down a load of Trans Am, NASCAR, this kind of stuff parts. If you're doing vintage or period racing, like the pre-war, so he'll take down loads of stuff like that. Really good dealer, and you can find him at race events as well as swap meets. So we've got Magnetic Racing, use Pendle a lot. That's good. Yeah, Tony, good shout out to the Orpington swap meet. That's Phil Smith, if anyone's just tuned in. Hey, you're right, guys. We're all waving back at you. I tell you what, if a few people had waved at their screens then, I'll wet myself with happiness. What you got? Yeah, you're right, Carl. Carl, you have to be really careful, mate. And eBay, yeah, that's right, yeah. It's a good place for people to open shops and start. I tell you where not to go, where not to open a shop is Etsy. Man, they want all your money. Literally, I think they want 30 or 40% of your sale, which means you put your price up 30 or 40% to accommodate their cut and actually earn something for your effort. And they want to fleece you out. So because you put your price up, no one wants to buy it. I did have a period where I was selling helmets. He says, I just grabbed one so you can see it. So I sprayed up kids' helmets, kind of like this one here, and selling them on the internet. So, but Etsy is not a place to sell custom sprayed helmets, that's for sure. I do slot cars. So there we go. So the question was, which started all of this, where do you buy stuff from? Can I interact this slot car axle and wheels properly into this SCX? Tune in next week to find out how that went. Yes, that's a good place for Lionel. If you that is a great place. I don't know where you live or where you're from, buddy. But if you're in the UK, then that is a significantly good place to meet up and do it and get some parts from. So yeah, there you go. Right, so what's happening the week ahead? Not a great deal. Lots of editing, lots of slot car related stuff, and I've got to get on top of this tuning. So the nice thing is I've got some other channels to watch while I do it. We've got Dave at Slot R. He's putting out some good stuff now. He just did a review on something new, something that's not like him. His last video, so that was good fun. I enjoyed that. We got Marty and Two Lines on Tuesday, although most of us in the UK watch on Wednesday because no one's up at midnight, 1 o'clock when it runs. We've got Conquest Racing Club. I think he does a live stream today actually, and there's stuff coming out from him. He does Slot Avengers. That's good stuff. Very slot driven, so you got to be right into that. Yeah, cheers Daz. Daz is working on his track. Let's have a recap of Daz's track, everyone. So he's doing some scenery at the moment for his track that you can see on the screen. Love that back straight. That is epic. What I would pay good money to see would be, Daz, is you crawling over the table to change a HDMI cable on that monitor on the back wall. So that is Daz's track, everyone. Oxford, yes. Oh, Lionel, there is a slot car club in Oxford run by our good friends John Underwood and John White. So if you wanted to go, I think it is the first Tuesday or every second Tuesday. Yeah, anyway, Oxford Slot Car Club. You can find them on Instagram, or you can send me a message afterwards. If you want to go down and do a little bit of slot car racing, it's plastic track, very, very little to do with car tuning. John and John have been doing this slot car racing for about 900 years. So they've got controllers, they've got cars, they've got a mountain of knowledge. John and John, through my racing experience to date, which is about 18 months so far, have been nothing but helpful. Like literally, they want more people to come racing. They love racing, the thrill of it. They want people to join in and come down racing. So they're going to lend you a car controller while you try it out, get a hang of it and enjoy it. So if you want to do that, Lionel, I'll gladly put you in touch with Josh. Sorry, my front door's just gone. The dog's gone mental upstairs, which means Mrs. Brown's back from the gym. So yes, if you want to do a bit of racing, you know, it's good fun, it's not so serious, then those guys will accommodate you really, really well. Okay, I was literally just about to say this because Adrian here, who lives in Derby, he's asked, are there any clubs in the Nottingham Derby area? Absolutely. We just met Paul. Oh, please tell me I've got that right, Paul. Racing Room. So Racing Room, who we met at the UK Slot Car Club. Sorry. Trying to read and do this. Tricky. So who we met at the Slot Car Festival. Paul, I'm going to call you Paul. He runs the Racing Room, and they do first Tuesday of every month. They do in the Dragon Pub in Nottingham. Now, I'm not saying anything, Paul, but I might give it a little shout out on the official UK slot car video. You can go down and do some racing with him. Also, you've got A1 Slots over in Newark, which is a little bit, well, it's sort of between Nottingham and Newark. It's a little haul past out from Derby, but it is not too far from Nottingham. Those guys have got it going on as well. They do all sorts. That's where Paul from Nottingham goes. In the room, Paul. Good morning, mate. How you doing? There you go. We've got a HO and a digital Carrera track. It's going on in Derby and Nottingham, isn't it? We've got the racing room. We've got A1 slots. We've got this club we don't know the name of, but they're doing HO and Carrara or Carrera. Depends on where your accent is from. Okay. Paul's getting to the bottom of that. Oh my God. Tom. I hope this isn't going to turn into a Ian 2 situation. Story about that, Tom, is Ian and Doug Magnetic Racing. They've got a colleague called Tim, and he comes out every sort of full moon, basically, and they come out on this full moon. And for some reason, I keep calling him Ian. Like, honestly, it's gone beyond being funny now. He's like, so we've all just started calling him Ian 2. So Tom. I won't call you another name, Tom, until I remember and get a hang that your name is Tom. Tom. So thanks for that, mate. Sorry about calling you Paul. Someone hold my coat. I've got to go and get a coffee. Talking about coffees. So I don't do buy me a coffee. And yeah, I don't do that. And what else do? I do Patreon though. So Paul keeps telling me I've got to tell people about Patreon because I have a real issue about talking about this stuff. I want my channel to grow. I want to buy some more stuff to make more content with. But as we described earlier on in the show, there's not much money floating around. So I decided that I'd set up a Patreon page. And what that means is it's another website. And it's really good if you're a content creator, but you have under 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is, if you don't know, is the magic number where you start to earn money for YouTube content. And don't get excited. There's Travis will back me up here, and Raoul, and anyone else who does content. We do it because we enjoy it. We do it because we love it. We're not here to get rich. If I want to get rich, well, I've got plenty of other schemes. Now that the coppers left the building, I've got plenty of other schemes that will get me rich. But if you're under 1,000 subscribers, but you want to sort of get paid for the content that you do and you think you're relevant, you set up a Patreon page. So it allows people to donate monthly to the cause. So you have different subscription levels and stuff like that on Patreon. So if you go to Patreon and find Track Fans TV, you'll see what I'm talking about now, and you'll see the cost. It's £3, £5 or £7 a month. No one's getting rich on that, but what that will buy me is possibly a set of wheels for this, a chassis. Oh no, I've got a chassis, axles. It just helps me buy a few bits and pieces in addition to what I'm buying when I scrape my pennies together to just fulfill content on the channel with you guys. So if there was any kind of projects that we wanted to do, this is the sort of thing that helps that along quicker. So that's what Patreon does. It makes me feel uncomfortable talking about it. It makes me feel like I want to be sick in my mouth because I have a lot of pride. I'm a proud man. But anyway, if you wanted to donate a couple of quid, Patreon is the place to do that. I don't expect it. I definitely don't ask for it. But if you were flush and you wanted to do it, thank you very much. So anyway, talking about chassis, this chassis sat on near the bin next to my box at the Slot Car Festival for most of it. Now it's a Carrera chassis. It's a Carrera chassis. I have no idea what car it's... Oh, actually. What car is it from? Brilliant. Carrera. Why don't you put what car it is on the bottom of your chassis? But anyway, I've got this chassis. I have no idea what car it's from. But yeah, nice find. Right, let's catch up with some contents. Okay, so A1 Slots is about an hour from Derby, just in case anyone's wondering where Aid is, reading a comment. Cheers the fingers. Yes, 38, 40 watching, wow. Seriously, at 8:30 on a Sunday morning, that's amazing. Well done, guys. Big high five to you guys. So OnlyFans to make money. Yes, I've heard of this OnlyFans business. Is this where you go and wash your feet online and then someone pays money to watch it? Disgusting. Disgusting. I would never entertain that. I tell you what, we'll set up an OnlyFans page and we'll go and like brush out chassis or something. There's going to be some slot car enthusiast out there somewhere who'll pay money to watch you brush out chassis. Exactly, GSOM, exactly. Well, I best check some of these comments before I put them up online. There's some banter coming round now. Okay, here we go. This is a meaty one. Slot car 21, Scalextric. Right, yes, this is the racing room. Tom's mob. Tom. Gonna get this in my head. Tom. So let's read it out. So Scalextric's digital. So that's good because if you follow the den, we've always done Scalextric digital. Flipping it over to Polycar at the moment. So again, this is where Patreon comes in handy. I want to get a few more straight pieces for the track, build it up so we can start doing some lap times on different cars that we're going to tune up and give you that feedback. So at the racing room, which is held at the Dragon pub in Nottingham, first Tuesday of every month. If you just tuned in, they are doing 7:30 to 10:30, £10 a head, and a very stocked bar. We don't condone drinking and driving, of course, but drinking and slot car racing does create some real good banter. So DHO RC. So I'm going to go with Derby HO Racing Club. Oh, that was good. I nearly said rally. And they do Carrera Digital. Yes, Pat, I do. Absolutely. Thank you, mate. You hit the nail on the head. Not that I have nothing better to do, because I've got some scratch builds here. I enjoy it. I enjoy the chat. I enjoy making mistakes, like the classic making the mistake on this car when I tried to spray dark green with fluorescent orange. Genius. The amount of stick I got off that was brilliant. Brilliant banter. Give it to me. Right, what are we looking at? Stock car dude. Yes, see, Aid is on it. Aid is on it. Aid, have you ever raced the Carrera track, Aid? Johnny, it's 5:35 p.m. in Melbourne. See, I say Melbourne now because I spent a few days with that slot car guy, Travis, who's from Melbourne. I used to call it Melbourne, like Bournemouth, Melbourne, but it's Melbourne. My brother-in-law's over there. So, yes, Cam. That's the thing I like about NSR and Thunderslot. Is the tyres they give you for it are already really good. Like the tyres on this F1 car. Wow, you can see where I've run it around the track 2 times. You can properly see where it needs to be trued. That black line in the middle is the low point of the tyre, and the light grey on the outsides are the high point. So I need to true that off using my Swift 16 tyre truer. And no, I'm not paid by anything by Rob for talking about his truer. It's just a great big kit. And make them flat, those wheels. Awesome. Okay, so Lionel has a challenge that he wants to talk to everyone about. Sometimes his controller is smoking. Lionel, that's not good. Just tell you for free, mate, that's not great. So the only smoking item I've ever had to date was the Scalextric kit car, which is quite a known problem. But if you have that problem, Scalextric will take the car back, fix it, and return it to you. No questions asked. Really good service by the team. They've recognised that there was a slight challenge on some of their motors, not all of them, and that's what they're doing. So if you've got a controlling smoker, what brand is it? Is it Scalextric, Lionel, or are you on a different model, Carrara, Polycar, a Scalauto? What track are you running and what controller is that? We'll see if we can get you some help. GSOM saying, yeah, possibly too much power to the track. I think it might be a short circuit somewhere in the controller handle or the power supply. Yeah, now, Paul, HO, sorry, Racing Room. These are great guys. You missed them at the Slot Car Festival because you weren't there. It's been noted. They're really nice guys, and I, to be honest with you, I nearly destroyed one of their cars on the Goodwood Hill climb because I missed the first part of the brief, which said the cars will go as fast as you pedal. Well, I got on the bike to start pedaling the car, and of course I've nailed it, and the car, because I'm competitive, and the car's gone off the end of this runway. Incredible. So I blew it, and Travis beat me on that track again. Oh, no way, DK Moon, 2:40 a.m. This is the challenge that I have when I want to watch Raul at Conquest Racing Club, or I want to watch some of the guys in America, is that I don't get it live. I work from home and I'll have the stream on, because these guys give you good value for money. Their streams go for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. They are da, 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 da. So I feel your pain, DK Moon. Anyway, what you should do, hang on, let's go back to that one. What you should do is do it like we do here. So go to bed and get up at 7:30 and play the episode, because it'll be coordinated, it'll be in time. So I'm like, good morning, it's 7:30, Sunday Slot Car Sessions, and you'll be like, God, Jesus, it is 7:30. And then you'll feel like everyone in the community feels like here. Like that. Ah! He's on the... Yeah, Carrera's good. I had my first Carrera experience when I went to Mercedes-Benz World with Magnetic Racing and that slot car guy. I liked it. It's really wide. I think the Polycar track is really wide. If you don't know what a Polycar track is like, I did an episode a couple of weeks ago on the Polycar review, a Polycar track review, and you put it next to Scalextric track, and it's about this much thicker, wider, which means if you're into sort of 1 in 24th scale, then you're going to be able to race in 1 in 24th scale on the track really well. I'm doing something here just to give you an idea of the difference. Okay, so you have a 1 in 32 scale Escort there, and then a 1 in 24th scale Escort. So you can see the difference in size. Well, if you've got a track and you're running 1 in 32 scales, no problem on Scalextric. But if you start to put two of these bad boys on a Scalextric track, it's getting a bit crowded, you know? So the Polycar and the Carrera, they offer you a bit wider dimension. I'm not sure about Ninko because I only see that at race events. And I know I'm forgetting a brand. I'm going to kick myself for it. But anyway, that's the reason that Carrera might be appealing, Aid. So we've got a bit of an update from the racing room. Yep, that is what it's about. It's about being social. We spent 2 years stuck indoors because of COVID, you know, like, COVID! What a disaster. And, well, it wasn't, because I started this channel. So actually something good come out of COVID. But apart from that, utter disaster. So the last bit there of this comment is exactly what I'm trying to encapsulate with the program. is it's about fun racing, banter, and a few scoops, well, of coffee at this time of the morning, but that time of the evening. Do they sell Stella there? Because if they've got Stella, I'm coming. A pub that doesn't sell Stella isn't up to much. That's all I'm saying. Exactly, Cam. Exactly, mate. Yeah, Paul, that's you know, exactly right, mate. Yeah, that's right. When you go to some race clubs, I've got to preempt this. You get some right nerds in there. In every race case has one twat. All right, one twat, which is twit with an A if we want to be politically correct. It's one twat. And normally they're like that for a good couple of 3 months until they get to know you, and then they slow it down a bit, and then after about 6 months to 8 months, when you can keep your car on the track, not de-slotting it every 5 seconds, they start to warm to you a little bit more. Now I get it, right? So we're going up there for a bit of banter, a bit of fun, you know, like the odd crash here excites me. I'm like, whoa, crash, and love it. And but then what you realise is the car that, because you de-slotted it, and then the car comes bang, smashes straight into you. Someone's worked on that car for about 4 months. They've literally tuned the back end out of that car. It's lowered, it's all painted, it's done this, it's trued, it's glued, it's like balanced. And then some new guy has come with his hobby car, he's come out of the slot, and you've just lost your fender, you've just lost your bumper on the rookie car, and you'll be forgiven for being slightly miffed. But at the end of the day, we were all there once. This is what I kind of remind people now that I've been in there, you know, for a while. I can just say, lighten up a bit, guys. If you don't like that, don't race on the track at the same time as the new guys, you know. But the new guys have got to get good somehow. So yeah, that is some places it can get a little bit serious, but never forget who you are. Just go in there and have your fun. Block that out. You know, don't feel afraid to go to a club to race because somebody's really serious. Just let them be serious. Boring gits. You know, we're there to race and have fun, right? 3:41, and that was, say, 5 minutes ago. Raoul, mate, I love you to bits, but go to bed. And yes, I think Raoul's invited me to, you know, come and have a chat with him and do some stuff together and have a bit of banter. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And he sent me the times. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the weekly one because they start at midnight. And what I might do, I need to remind me what days you do the weekly one. But he did say that he does a Saturday one, which we could get involved with. So, Raoul, we'll sort it out. We will sort it out. Yeah, second that. Yeah, that's right, Rolf. Aid. That's exactly what I was just saying. Is don't let it get political. Let them be political, but turn up, do your race, enjoy yourself, and then you'll find that people will come round eventually to what you're doing. Okay, so Lionel's been toing and froing a little bit in the chat about a controller that smokes, and GSOM here, grandson of man, is I think you could be onto it. I think if it could be the controller. Zizappa. Oh, and also Lionel, how old is the controller? If you're, you know, are you using a 1980s Scalextric track from the attic? Because they do smell it. They really smell when you get a bit hot on them. So yeah, so what controller are you using? Because I've not seen it on a modern digital one or a modern like True Speed style or a slotted one. Yeah, a bit more detail on that one. I love this. 3 rules at Racing Room. We're really getting the brief today. Cheers, Tom. No drinking over the track. Perfect. As an ex-DJ, there was no drinking over the decks. Rule 1. No water near electric. Life skill as well. Any younger viewers watching this, guys, don't be putting electric near water. It's not a good outcome. No pulling slotted cars backwards in the track. In the track, forwards. Great rule. And then no singing or humming Fleetwood Mac's The Chain, Stairway to Heaven, or what was the other one that I was singing the other day? Oh yeah, Que Sera. So I've just been rewatching and watching a series called From, which is on Now TV and everywhere. From, it's called. Brilliant. But the opening song, the credits, is Que Sera. Oh, everyone, here, I'm going to put it in your heads. Que Sera, Sera. See, you're all thinking about that all day now. No, mate. A few scoops of alcohol. I can't see Stella in there, Tom. I'm reading Moretti, Amstel, Punk, IPA, Indian Pale Ale, nice. Beavertown. I'm a married man. And lots of real ales. Love it. I was in the army for 5 years. That's all I'm saying. I do like a John Smith's though. That's quite nice. Oh, John Smith's Extra Smooth. Oh, that's nice. I like Hop House 13 if I want to funk it up a bit and go a bit florally. But Stella, it's the squaddies drink. You know, it's you're either Foster's or Stella in the army. That's it. There's no middle ground. If you drink something fancy like a Moretti, you're probably going to get thrown over the perimeter fence or something more sinister. Yeah, Bill's a great guy. Bill up at Great Bar Slot Car Club, legend, really nice guy. And I like Bill because he's putting it back in for the younger guys. Okay, I've got camera issues again. Oh. Right, hold on a second. Let's pull that one out. Apparently, the camera is too hot now. Apparently the camera is too hot because I plugged the wire in it when the battery failed the last time in the stream. Unbelievable. Now it's too hot. So I've unplugged the wire to see if we can get... I've got enough power in the tank. See if we can keep the stream going. So what I am going to say is we're going to wrap this up in about 5 to 7 minutes time. So about 5 minutes time, we're going to wrap it up for this week because we've all got chores to do. I already started mine. I cracked out the washing up. I cracked that out before I did this stream. So I've only got a couple of other bits to do. I'm not even going to bother asking you what chores you've got to do. So, just to round up the slot car Sunday slot car sessions, what is your main slot car goal today to do? What is the one thing that you want to do today, that you will do today, against all the odds, all the stuff that we're going to do? What is the one thing you're going to do today? So give a minute to type that in there while I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray at least 2 coats on these. I'm going to experiment with the axles and the wheels on this, and I'm going to do 2 hours, 3 hours of editing, because that will involve an hour and a half tonight after Mrs. Brown goes to bed, and an hour and a half, maybe half an hour here and there through the day as I get the pockets of time to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So what's your main one slot car goal for the day? God, you guys are on fire in the chat. So Tony is, oh yeah, let's have a quick look. Paul's not a fan of Stella. Right, so the fingers. He's going to drink coffee black because it's about 5 a.m. where he is at the moment. Hey, the fingers, mate. From me, from Rahul, from Marty, from Travis, from everyone who does slot car content, thank you very much, mate. You are literally the hobby super fan. You the man. 5 hours to F1 in Spain. Get some sleep. Rahul, mate, get some sleep. Seriously. I know he won't. Rahul's going to be back in the studio in a minute doing some more content because he loves it. He's like me, just enjoys sharing stuff with the community. Travis, you know it, brother. You know it. Oh dear. I might send you a couple of like snapshots to have a look at through the day. Yeah, Daz is already painting. He is already all over it. Oh, what gasser have you got, Andrew? Okay, clean more track. Oh, you know what? That's my chore in slot cars, is cleaning track. Yep, DK Moon's on the coffee. I'm going to be on the coffee in a moment. As soon as I get off here, straight on the coffee. Paul, this is the story of your life, brother. You never have the time for anything, mate. It cracks me up. He's like, I ain't got the time. Runs around all day going, I ain't got the time, and then goes to bed and didn't do anything. Oh, Rich, good morning. I didn't see you sneak into the chat. How's it going over in the valleys? Ultima layout, a few hairpins. You know, we're following this. We need to see the updates as you're going along. So we need to see what it was now and then what it looks like when it's altered, please, if you could. Do you want to share that with us? That would be amazing. Tony's figure painting. So we got Tony figure painting, Darren figure painting, Doug from Magnetic Racing is figure painting. I'll put my left leg on it at Tara, if she's watching this. And Steve are figure painting. Mac is figure painting. Everyone's figure painting. I'm slot car painting. Anyone up for some painting? We've got some F1 love coming down in the house today. Apparently there's a race on later. Some new cars for John. Yes, Lionel, if there was a controller brand that I'd recommend, True Speed is truly it. Steve Hills over at True Speed. He's a lovely fella. And he does different types. So, which he doesn't put the model number on. Genius. Well done, Steve. So this one, this is one that I'd recommend. Very simplistic indeed. Very easy to use. Very responsive. Then when you develop a little bit harder to come by, but you can move into a trigger and something like this, which will create a lot more headaches with trying to get the right. I still can't do it. Even as soon as Friday, we're up there, GT3 at Rockingham, bosh it in. Nick comes over, he goes, Pete, I can't watch this. I just can't watch this. Give me a controller. Does these tweaks like this. drives it. Mate, it's perfect. It's really nice. So that's what I'm going to spend a bit of time on in the next few weeks, trying to figure out how this controller works. But Lionel, top man, great idea. It is the way forward. Cameron, look at the back of your slot car box. They're in there. Interesting. Interesting indeed. What type of motor pod is it? A slot it or a different, an NSR? And what car is that? Oh, we're running out of time. But yeah, Raul, we are definitely interested in seeing what slot car dudes, how that pans out. Ooh. I think he's off to watch the F3. Oh, nice. Travis has been to the jumble sale again. He's picked up some more Carrera. There's no one in the hobby collects full sets like Travis. So he collects full sets for fun. Drones. Oh, yeah, that's what I need. I need a drone for some recording. I keep forgetting about drone technology for cameras. What time tonight are you doing this, Raul? Raul's doing a live stream tonight, guys. He does a couple of channels, and he does live figure painting for things like stock car figures, Warhammer, Army Painter, and other brands. Really good, actually. He's got good technique. Okay. Well, you know what I say, Cam? If you lost something, it's your responsibility to replace it. You could get a new pair of wheels and tyres out of this. I hate losing my kids' stuff. It means I have to go and get new ones. Sorry, Si. And sat behind the slot car track at Williams waiting for the guests. Yes, you are. We'll go and get coffee, mate. Okay, so, right, we've generally said our goodbyes. We've had a little look at what the one thing we want to do today is. So excited. I've actually got 3. I can't pick one. It's like picking your kids. It's like someone says to you, actually, what's your favourite song? What? How can you pick one favourite song? It's impossible. So, what? So there you go. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching the Sunday slot car sessions and being a part of it. It's very much your show that I facilitate, so I love it. Next week I'll have some more content for you. I'm going to see if we can get a guest on to have a look at that. Maybe I won't say anything yet, so I've got a couple of ideas, so we'll get that going on. I will do some tuning stuff, and we'll bring up to speed on some news for the week. Not news because we leave that to Travis and Dave, but other news they don't think about. So there you go. Right, another fine session. Actually, sorry, I know I do this a lot. Don't forget to tune in other slot car channels. Loads of content, but before you do, 4:30 this afternoon for the first, well, second if you count the live stream, but the first in the mini-series episodes begins today, 4:30, and just quite sweet episode for a Sunday afternoon, just to get the series going. So I hope you enjoy it. Have a good time. It was lovely to see you this morning. I can't wait to catch up with you all on social media and WhatsApp through the week. So have a good week, have a good day, and I'll catch you next week at the live one. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you later, guys. See you later.